are
Hey, we're live.
watching this, feel free to let us know down below where you're joining us from. And also what lines you specialize in. Are you life, health, you Medicare, or PNC, something else? Let us know. So excited for tonight. I got my partner Renee on here with Jumpstart Go, and then our awesome, amazing, fantastic trainer, coach for the Closers Click, Victor, on here, who also rocks it with his indie agency. And apparently he's doing Google AdWords and stuff now too, which we'll talk about at some point. Definitely be doing talking about in the Closers Click as well. And then Sandra should be hopping on in a bit. And then we got a special guest we'll bring on in a little bit too for tonight. So tonight is, if you guys read the post and coming on for tonight or catching this replay, tonight is all for those agents, even new agents, but what we're going to be talking about is really focused on experienced agents and agency owners, ones that in this industry kind of felt like they've always had to do it themselves, figure it out, maybe got thrown a contract and say, hey, figure it out and good luck. Here's a contract, and you should hopefully be good to go. But we're not going to give you any help or guidance or mentorship, or ones also on the agency owner side. Like, maybe you came up through being an agent, were really successful with that, and now they have an agency, and it's like, well, this is not the same thing as selling insurance. This is a whole different thing. I'm managing people, I'm doing training, I'm trying to help my team be successful, I'm handling the finances side, I'm handling the HR side, I'm handling the marketing, the sale. I didn't have to necessarily do that. I just maybe bought leads and did that, or my company brought stuff in. So it's a lot different being an agency owner. So this is really meant for the experienced agents and agency owners that really want to scale up, take their business to the next level through really incredibly in-depth training, mentorship, accountability, masterminds, referrals, all this sort of things that we cover and really kind of have melded together into the Closers Click program, which we're going to talk about in a bit. Sandra has hopped on as well.
Hi guys.
Sandra, amazing insurance marketer, automation systems. Also is running another business called Mothers of Marketing which is awesome. And so super awesome serial entrepreneur. And we're excited to have her as one of our awesome trainers and coaches for the Closers Click as well. She absolutely crushes it on social, strategic referral relationships, all sorts of stuff that she helps train and teach as well. So we're really, really excited to have everybody on tonight and talk tonight. So if you feel like you want to up your game, take it to the next level, be a top producer, top agency owner, let us know in the comments. Give us a hell yeah, because we're excited to have you here and excited to talk about that a little bit. Let's go ahead and talk about kind of the first experiences in the industry, because I think for newer agents and agents, first 6 months or first year, that can be a pretty tough setup, and they're not really set up for success or getting that support, or they have to learn this whole industry, especially if you didn't come from a sales background, which can be pretty tough as an agent. And if you're coming in as an agency owner, if you bought into a franchise or you're opening your own agency coming from other businesses, it can be pretty tough as well. Not only learning the industry and how everything works, but also I don't know where Renee went, but also having to manage your agency and your team. So Victor, what was your first experience like getting into this industry, this world of insurance, and what was that like? How were your first 3 months, 6 months in this industry, and then in comparison to today and what you kind of wish you'd known, and if you had maybe you did have good support and training, but if you had someone in depth from a high level view to where you are now, maybe what you'd even tell yourself when you first got started now.
Yeah. So when I first started in insurance, I had no sales background. I played professional baseball, and then I was doing training for kids on baseball, and one of the kids that I was coaching, his father was a really successful State Farm agent. So that's kind of how I got into insurance. I started off at State Farm, and for my first 6 months I was just cold calling businesses with no intention of selling anything to them. It was literally just trying to get me to make 100, 200 calls a day, every single day, having the hardest conversations you can have, trying to get through gatekeepers, all that kind of stuff. So there was no training. One of the only pieces of training I've ever got from my agent was, what are you doing that's working? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know, because I'm not selling anything. I'm just calling, I'm talking to people. Like, well, do something different. Okay, well, like what?
Figure it out.
Like what? Like, do something different. Okay, well, can you give me some like hints, something? Yeah, do something different. So I'm like, oh, okay. So then it clicked in my mind from like, let me just try something different. Don't know what the hell I'm doing different, but I'm going to do something different. So that's how I came up with a lot of the things that have began to work and that I'm teaching now. Just from trying different things, figuring out what sticks, and just being a little bit smarter about my process and how I talk to, cold calls and pretty much all clients. So yeah, I had no guidance. I wish I would have. It would have made a lot smoother, quicker transition if I would have had someone just telling me like, hey, like you should probably approach it this way. And I would have, 6 months of learning could have been 1 month or 2 months. So
yeah, and agents, if that sounds familiar to you, if you got hired and said, here's a list of numbers, go wild, give them the cold calls, and just call all day long, and hope some stuff comes through. And if something's not working, that your upline told you, well, try something different, figure it out. If that sounds familiar to you, if that was your situation or kind of how you got introduced to the industry, let us know down below. Just say like, that's me, or maybe you were blessed enough to have like a really good upline and training and support, which honestly is worth its weight in gold when you're starting off. But in reality, a lot of this insurance world and industry doesn't have that. And that's why the 90% don't make it. It's not necessarily comes down to having not a good contract or commission rate, or not having the best leads. It really comes down to just not having guidance, support, mentorship, and someone to help take you through that and set you up for success. So Sandra, can you tell us a little bit about your intro to the insurance world and what that was like? I mean, you came in on the agency owner side? Sandra's silent because she's muted. Now she's unmuted.
I always mute myself. Everybody knows that. So I actually came in on the LSP side. I actually came in on the unemployed side. Like I could find a job, and I kept calling some people, and I was like, hey, are you hiring? And they're like, no. And I was like, cool. And I was like, so I got licensed for insurance. Are you hiring? And they're like, no. I was like, cool. So I just kept calling. And then eventually he was like, God, come in and sell something. So I just took to it like a fish to water. Like Victor's saying, I just started cold calling. Made sense to me. I got the gift of gab. We went and visited Scotland, and our tour driver was like, you don't need to go kiss the Blarney Stone. You guys go do something else. So I already had the gift instead. That's when I got into digital marketing, was after I kind of cold called everybody in Montana. And then I got into generating leads and started that, then started managing the book, and then purchased a spinoff book from there. And just kind of found my groove, and kind of like Victor said, was just kind of thrown in and figured out how to talk to people and how to market myself was one of the biggest things. So as a licensed producer, I was actually nominated for our Best in Billings, our little region, because I marketed myself so much as Sandra Gephardt Insurance. People assumed I was the agency owner as well. So it's just branding and marketing comes naturally to me. A lot of people don't know this, but I actually have a degree in public relations.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I never think to say it.
I'm always learning something new about you, Sandra.
Right. So that's actually
full of secrets
too.
that she's happy to share. So awesome. Yeah. And so looking back, from your first experience and your experience with the industry, what would you have told yourself looking back, or what would you have changed, or what could have helped you be more successful initially? I mean, obviously, you had, some things pop up, but, just from your experience initially, what would you have changed, or what would you have told yourself?
I think where I'm unique is I got so entrenched in the digital marketing right away before I became an agency owner that I didn't have the lack of education, because I had already hired somebody to teach me that. I already had a group of people. But I know when I was at I won't name the company, we'll call it some state school. The training was like, you have to wear a tie for pictures on the first day, or a skirt, longest day of my life. And it was a lot of, when you're processing the payment, right? Ask somebody to write 3 names down on a piece of paper and then slide it, just slide it over to them, then just wait, then see what they write down. I'm like, awesome. Because most people will sell people out for a gift card. You bet. If somebody asks me for Victor's contact information for a $10 Starbucks card, they're getting your number, Vic.
That's right.
So, not that every system is dead, the older ways of doing business, but you can't really slide a piece of paper across anybody at your desk right now because they're not there and they don't want to touch paper, even if they are. So, I had a broader outlook coming in as most. I was actually slinging some digital marketing training in the hallways to some of my friends that I went to school with, just to help people kind of see what I was doing. There's old posts of me at baseball games. Like I went to White Sox games and Red Sox or Rockies games and stuff while I was in the different towns. And I was like, everybody's cold calling, but I started an ad and ran my list because you had to get a certain number of people's information. So everybody at school is like staying after school to cold call. And I'm like, Facebook, got all the contact info, and I'm over drinking a beer at the baseball game. So I came in with a really good marketing skill set within the digital marketing. And I don't know. We ended up selling the office because Darren had the brain tumor. But without that, I'm not sure how we would have made it those first months beforehand anyway.
Yeah, that would have been real tough. So thankfully you had that digital marketing experience, which especially is helpful in today's world. So talking about that, guys, we've seen that these are common issues that agency owners have. They either lack the support, the guidance, trying to figure out their marketing, trying to figure out their sales. A lot of it is how do I fill my pipeline? It's the lead side. I want leads. 90% of the questions in the group are all like, where do you find good leads? What is a good lead? Who's the best vendor? How do I generate my own? It's filling that pipeline. And then once people have pipeline filled, normally it's the issue is like, okay, how do I effectively, get these people to calls and appointments and to show up? I get ghosted. People don't show up to my appointments. People don't respond back to me. I spend all day long trying to call these people. I try to text them. I just don't have time to work all these things or ever because, and honestly, most of them are not like high quality leads and, maybe more internet leads where they're just going to spend all day going through trying to pull out the ones that they can pull out, especially off of one contact attempt. They're going through and calling each one once and hoping that one time they catch somebody. So that becomes the next issue. How do I effectively employ like systems, automation, things to where I can spend more time on sales calls and actually making sales and making money and helping people? And then after that, typically people run into the issues of like, okay, I'm spending some time on sales calls and that's where I'm spending my time. How do I convert the most? How do I effectively sell the best and the most? Whether it's, how long am I spending building rapport and how am I doing that? What are my different, kind of closing techniques? Everything with whether you're doing telesales or face-to-face, how do you most effectively have the highest close rate and most success out of those appointments? And then even beyond that, to a lot of areas agents don't really even get to is like building the strategic referral relationships and getting more referrals from those sales calls and appointments they have, to collecting testimonials and reviews. Most people are hardly ever asking for those, or it's like 6 months or a year later when they haven't talked to their prospect in forever. And they're like, you're my insurance agent? I forgot. Not a good time to be asking for your review or testimonial. And then, like building and scaling from hiring and bringing on more agents and training them and making sure they're successful and managing them, which, is a whole different area, building and scaling up an agency as well. Hiring, how do you find the right people? How do you get them trained? So, those are common challenges. Probably 90, +% of agents and agencies challenges fall into those kind of categories. And so we've seen that and we've fielded these questions and calls over the years of running this group. 15,500 agents in here. These are the common questions and common situations they run into. And there isn't anything really great out there that's, helping them day to day, week to week, really overcome these obstacles, learn all these different areas, implement things, hold them accountable, teach them, and really help build them up to take their business or their agency to the next level, and to really be top producer or top agency owner. And so that's where we started the Closers Click, and that's why we started the Closers Click. And we wanted top trainers to be teaching the latest and the greatest, and to be helping these agents grow and scale. The ones that wanted to take the action, that wanted to push, that knew they could learn things and implement things. They just needed to know what those were and have someone push them along. It's not that they lacked hustle. It's not that they lack drive. It's not that they aren't smart and talented people. It's just, how do I do that in today's world? How do I do that in 2020? How do I do that on the digital side? How do I do it in today's marketing methods? How do I effectively implement all these things? And what are some ideas and things I can do that the average person isn't doing out there? Because how do I separate myself? Yeah, Renee.
Hey, let me just interrupt you, man. Sorry. You know what people are lacking? They're lacking a roadmap. And if we talk about mentors and we talk about people that are being hired by these insurance companies, they want them to focus on usually two things. One, leads, get as many leads as possible, and two is and recruit, right? Get as many leads as possible and recruit. Leads, I mean, there's people out there that have plenty of leads, but they don't know how to close. How many times have we seen that, guys, or heard that? It's like, oh, these leads suck, right?
They just blame the leads, right? Yeah,
like a Victor, or you give them to like a Sandra, and their close ratio is through the roof for the most part, right? But there is no roadmap. And some of these companies, another issue I see is the roadmap they're given is a roadmap from 20 years ago. What is that saying that you came up with, Sandra? There's a saying you came up with.
The path and the helicopter?
No, not the path in the helicopter. It's about doing the things people did in the 80s or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot what it is. The roadmap is completely different than what most people are given these days, right? So if we look at everything that you've mentioned from A to Z, David, lead acquisition, lead sales, lead metrics, I mean, you name it, recruiting, all of it. And you know what? Business 101, mindset. There's just so much more than the top two things these insurance companies are telling their producers to do.
Absolutely. And so let's actually hear from someone that's absolutely incredible, that is a part of the Closers Click and joined, is doing really, really awesome things. In fact, has multiple franchises of their agency even. I'm really excited to bring on. So Renee, I'm gonna kick you off real quick since we can only have to run real quick. I'll bring you back on in a second. So he's been very patient and waited much longer than I told him he'd have to wait. So I appreciate that. But let me go ahead and bring on the amazing, the awesome David Camper with Redwood Agencies. So David, thank you for joining us.
Hey, I'm super excited to be on this call, man. Really love what you guys are doing. Can you hear me?
Thanks,
all right?
David. Yeah, we really appreciate you taking the time and hopping on. We know crazy busy. I know you guys were at an awesome retreat conference over the last few days and are catching up a little bit. And so we appreciate you taking the time. So David, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your agency, kind of your experience with insurance agency and everything? Yeah,
absolutely. So I've got 15 years in the business. All of that has been on the corporate captive side. But 2 years ago, decided to open an independent agency with my son, Joe Campert. Some of you may know Joe. He's all over the place on Facebook. Man, I tell you, he is in there, quoting and commenting and all kinds of stuff. So 2 years ago, we decided to open an independent agency to be able to do something together. And I tell you, our experience has been very similar to what you guys have described. I mean, literally a rep showed up, we signed some contracts, and he's like, go sell some business. And so, and we're just like, okay, so how do we do this? And so for the past 2 years, we've been okay. I've been in the business a while and had been to enough conferences with the companies that I'd been to with before. So like Renee was saying, you kind of take some of that old thinking and it worked okay, kind of okay. And you're trying to kind of figure things out. And this year, when Joe and I were talking, we really started talking about, man, we need something else. We need something else to get us to that next level. And we're kind of looking around, and a lot of programs that you look at, it's literally one specific genre. So it's just marketing, or it's just scripts. And so when we heard about the Closers Click and who you guys had brought in as coaches, I'm like, man, this stuff, I mean, it's multiple genres. It's like the whole bag. And we have access to everybody to be able to really start learning, okay, how do we do business as an independent agency in 2020? Not 1987, but in 2020, what do you need to do to be able to be successful? And there's a lot of different areas. You can be really great in one thing, and then in 3 other areas, you're way behind the times. So it just kills what you're doing maybe in one area that you're really good at. So, we came across this Closers Click thing, and man, I tell you, it was a no-brainer for us to be able to sign up and to have it. And I'll tell you, there's a couple things I really love about this group, and probably first and foremost is it's live calls every single week. Now, I won't mention some other Facebook groups that you can join, and you know what, they've got great training, but it's recorded training, and at this point, it's probably 2-year-old training. So. To me, it's like at Closers Click, like I get a live call, multiple live calls every single week with the subject matter experts, with Sandra and, and Victor and David, and to literally to be able to have live access with them. I mean, it's relevant. It's the stuff right now of how we need to be doing our business. So I think first and foremost, that to me is amazing. But more important to that, and David mentioned we went to a conference this weekend, and everybody's been to a great conference or everybody's been to a great retreat. And you go there and you get fired up and you're all excited, and then you go home and then what do you do with it? What are you going to do with all that information you got? You need accountability. So for me, the thing that's great about Closers Click is not only am I getting all this great information that is literally helping us transform our business, but I have accountability. Why? Because change is difficult. I'm an old guy, so doing things different, it's a little bit, it's kind of hard for me sometimes. But, Sandra's asking me every week, hey, did you make your Facebook video? Did you make your Facebook group? Did you make your Facebook post? Are you doing your instant messenger? And as an agency owner, nobody's doing that for us. We're doing that for our own people. As an agency owner, you're holding your producers accountable. You're holding your CSRs accountable. But who is holding you accountable? Who's making sure that you need to be doing the things to be successful? And that's what I'm getting in Closers Click. And so when I heard that accountability piece, that not only are they going to be teaching every single week, but hey, we're going to be holding you accountable. You're going to have actionable things that you're going to be able to do every week. And we're going to be keeping you accountable to do those things. And they have been. And so to me, it's no surprise that in the last several months, we've literally had 2 of our best months ever as an agency. And yeah, and it's absolutely worth ringing the bell over. I mean, just case in point, I have to tell this story because to me, it's amazing. So last week we're on our live call with everybody, and literally there's a challenge. All right, you know what? We're going to go Facebook Live right now. We're going to make a call, and then we're going to do it about we're going to make it about pet insurance. Now, so my son Joe decides to do the whole pet insurance thing, and he's going to do a Facebook Live and make a video and talk about pet insurance. Now he's just thinking, I need to do this because I'm going to be held accountable, and so I want to go ahead and do that. And then he's got like over 10 grand in premium that he's quoting literally from that simple video. They're like, hey, here's how you do this. Now we're actually going to do it. We're not just going to talk about it, but we want you to do this right now. And he did it, and then all of a sudden it's like wow, it works. Surprise.
It's a 3-minute Facebook Live video.
Yeah, it's like, wow, it actually generated business. And so we're very close to close. We'll probably close that stuff this week. So I could go on and on about this group. I could talk about the great people that we've actually got in the group and that we learn from. But it's good stuff. It's good people. They know what they're talking about, and they've really helped us. And I can't wait to see where we're going to be a year from now. We've only been in a month or 2 maybe. So it's
not even 2. I don't think.
Yeah, right. It just seems that amazing because I've gotten so much from it already. Seems like it's been months that we've been in there, but it's awesome, man. I love this group, and I'm super excited that we're able to be a part of it.
And I appreciate that and what you like about it and why you joined and everything. But at the end of the day, and we tell people that when we're talking to them about the Closers Click and people coming on, at the end of the day, it's about results. and getting wins. And so hearing some of those wins, record-breaking months, is incredible, and that's awesome. And that's what we really want for everybody in the program. And everybody, each week on Fridays, we hold people accountable for everything, of course, and then we also celebrate the wins for that week, what they've got accomplished, what successes they've had that week. And everybody pulls out their bells and is ringing for all the successes that week. And every single member as a part of the Closers Click is getting wins every single week, over and over and over. And we've had people come in that hadn't sold anything in 4 months, and we're just living off the renewals so far, and now they're closing sales all the time and ramping their business back up and are excited about it again. And
right. And who's celebrating with you? Who is celebrating? As an agency owner, who's celebrating my win? No, nobody's I mean, it's hard unless you're really well connected that you have people, and you almost sound like you're bragging when you're trying to tell people your wins. So that's what's cool about this group, because now, I've got other people that are cheering me on. They're celebrating my successes, and I can also celebrate theirs. And that in and of itself is just an encouragement. When you've got 9 other people around you that are, hey, man, they're successful, they're doing things. I mean, the improvement in my mindset has been huge. When you're around people that are winning and they are closing deals and they do have those results, man, it's really great encouragement for me to do the same thing.
Yeah, and we've seen that, the mindset, breeds that and leads to that as well. I mean, if you have just a really positive mindset, know people are going to hold you accountable and challenge you, that, that leads to, huge successes, and just, having fun again in it. And,
right.
It's fun to be successful, to win, and to have roadmaps. It's not fun being like, what do I need to do? It's not working. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to change. I don't know where to go. Like, yes, we can keep on going. We're doing okay, but how do we take it beyond okay? Because okay is not as fun as, really successful and, kind of skyrocketing and seeing that hockey stick, type growth and getting those, wins week in and week out. I mean, Sandra, Victor, I mean, you guys know, mindset is so huge. And we do talk about that a lot as a part of it. And a lot of people be like, oh, mindset, okay, that's, but that is a real big core part, especially when people kind of are first coming in, because some of them have come in and not been in great spots when they came in. Like, they weren't even doing okay. They were like, this is a challenge, and I really need to get, start having wins very quickly. And that's one thing that we really want to do with everybody coming in, is get them wins very quickly, not only to, prove and show, exactly what we're doing here as a part of the Closers Click, but also so that it can feel fun, have fun with their business, feel in the right mindset, and get those wins and start being like, I can do this. I can totally get to that premium level that I'm shooting for, is not crazy. It's doable. We can get there. We can do that. I had a final expense agent, not even like 6 months in, like 5 months into the industry. And he was like, yeah, I want to be doing 20,000 AP a month, regularly. That's my goal. That's where I want to be at. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's a pretty good goal. And you'd be doing some pretty good commissions, if you're doing that or ever. And I think, this month will probably be his, record breaking month. This is the most he's done in a month. So, probably, yeah. So, yeah, it's been awesome.
And just to touch on that, like, they say that you are the direct correlation of the 5 to 10 closest people around you. So when you're in a group of like-minded individuals, it's really easy to get into a good mindset, because you all have common goals. We might not be in the same, we might have health insurance agents, life insurance agents, P&C agents, flood insurance agent, but we all have goals of being really successful in our agencies and growing. And a lot of these core pieces of what we're teaching can correlate to any kind of business. I think someone said, you could be selling hot dogs on a hot dog stand on the corner and make use of what we're teaching. So, I think that's a really, really it's a big reason why we have and focus on mindset so much, because the people you keep around you are going to help, elevate you in your business. So I just wanted to get that in. I have to go, guys. So I just wanted to give my piece on that before I head out. But yeah.
Yeah. Well,
awesome.
Victor's
go ahead, Sandra.
Right. Like we all call Pops now. Because we are a fun group. We do like to have fun, but we also get a lot of stuff done, and it's so much fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's, we just got some great personalities, I think in the group, and it's amazing how much we've connected, even just over doing these video calls every single week. But you really start to get connected as a team. And so you're following each other on social media. So you're seeing the things that they're putting out, the content they're putting out, and, just encouraging people. And yeah, sometimes people come to the meetings and man, they've had a rough week. And so, but they know that, hey, you know what, there's individuals waiting on the other end of that call that are there to provide encouragement, and say, hey, you know what, hey, it was a tough week, get that. Hey, but next week's going to be a lot better. And hey, because we're actually having another call next week, we'll get to, hey, we're meeting every single week. I mean, that to me, that's one of the best parts of this whole thing, that, yeah, I can have an off week, but next week I can have a great week. And I know every week I'm going to be seeing this group of people, and I'm going to have the encouragement and accountability that I need.
And, and trying to, we try to break things down into, bite-sized things that you can implement each week to build up. We don't say, oh, here's all the million things you can do on social media. Go do them all right now. It's here's something you can do this week and take action, and here's how you build upon it the next week. And, we've had a lot of agents come in and like, I haven't really done much on social media. I tried to post some stuff from Hearsay on my business page and it never got anything because a million other people posted the exact same thing and no one looks at the business pages anyways. And we come in like, okay, I know you've been told, hey, do these things, but really do these things and implement this, and you'll start seeing results and actual people coming through and leads and sales and referrals. And it's been cool to see them be like, okay, yeah, we'll do what you told us to, and we'll implement. You're going to hold us accountable for that anyways, and be like, yeah, I had some leads come through. Oh, I got some referrals. I got some sales. Like I did this one post and stuff came through. Like this is crazy. Like, so it's been awesome. And just kind of, helping them see like, hey, this stuff isn't so scary or crazy or, even, hard at, don't have to be a top level marketer to be able to do these things. Well, it's just being consistent and putting these things into place and kind of knowing what those things are. So, David, thanks so much for taking time. I know I kept you on a little longer, but thank you so much for hopping on. Appreciate it. I'm gonna let you guys get back to closing it out.
No, it's awesome. I appreciate the opportunity, and again, just encourage anybody listening. If you're on the fence or you're thinking about it, it's you won't regret it. It's been great. So I'm more than happy to give the recommendation. So appreciate it.
Thanks, David. Really appreciate that.
David.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Bye, Pops.
Bye, Pops. He's our Pops. Yeah.
Pops.
It was awesome. And you guys have probably heard from Joe over the last couple weeks. He's hopped on with us too. Who's David's son, is running the agency with them, and he's doing just incredible stuff, especially on like the trucking side. And he's doing all kinds of crazy things, and it's been awesome to have both of them as part of the group. So we're super excited about all the members, really, and had a couple new people come in this last week. And so part of tonight was letting people know, hey, we are now open we were closed for 6-8 weeks or so for new members, just focusing on the people that were there. And now we're open for other people to come in and join, and have already had a couple people come in. And so I want to let you guys know, if you guys think that this could be a fit for you, something that you could use, you want to scale up and grow the next level, you're an experienced agent, agency owner, you have a bit of a marketing budget, if you're a brand new agent, not a fit for you yet, we have a lot of great free resources and a lot of awesome stuff and training in the main Marketing for Insurance Agents group. But if you've been in the insurance world for 6 months or longer, or you're an agency owner, this is absolutely for you. And we are super excited about it, and we would love to talk to you about it. If you do want to chat with us, and just no pressure, nothing, just to hear more about it, and let's let you know about it, then just grab a call with us down below. We'd love to have a chat, love to see if it's a fit for you, if you're a fit for it, and how we can help you grow and scale to the next level. I mean, that's really what we're passionate about. Hopefully through this group, through the lives, through here and other kind of testimonials, you can hear that this is what we like doing. We want to see success. This isn't something like, oh, here's the training, watch it. If it doesn't work for you, it's your fault, too bad, or whatever. That's not it. our whole thing is like we're not successful unless the people that are part of it are successful, and that's the whole point. It's results focused. This isn't like just a teaching and training, just to teach and train. And that's why it's so important that people that come in are the ones that want to take actions, that want to implement, that can set aside some time each week to attend these lives. This isn't something that you're just going to gain success just by signing up and not doing anything. Now, this is something that for people that, hey, I will take the action, I will do the things. I just need to know what those are. Someone hold me accountable, someone teach me, and then let's mastermind on other crazy things that no one else is doing that can have huge impacts on our business and the industry as well. So, I mean, that's one of my favorite things about it. Sandra, what would you say? Your kind of top things are about the Closers Click that are your favorite things.
I love the mindset stuff. I just really do. It's so important to have other people around, like Pops is saying, that you can be vulnerable and you can have a bad day and it's okay. Shoot, there was one call that Renee and I were leading and we just stopped everything and we were like, all right, we gotta talk about mindsets here. Let's everybody just put down what we're working on. We're gonna reset. And it was right on schedule. About the third weekend, everybody was feeling a little overwhelmed, and we just literally stopped, and we're like, how's everybody doing? Because you can push yourself a lot farther than you think you can. If you have some people in your corner that are fighting the same fight as you. That's why all the superheroes hang out together.
Exactly. Justice League, Avengers. I know there's more.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say, just to add to that, Sandra. I mean, you can kind of feel you can kind of feel or gauge where everybody was at. Most people were just having a rough week, right? And sometimes like it's hard to talk to our spouses or even sometimes our partners, right? We just need to talk with someone who's just going through the exact same, same thing, maybe different situations, but they're struggling that week. And it was just, and Sandra said, hey guys, we're going to change things up. Let's talk about mindset. And I looked at where you're at, and everybody's like, oh yeah, oh my God, it's one of those weeks. And we just kind of all worked through it and talked through it. And I think what was really cool is Sandra threw out a challenge that says, you know what? I want you to take your significant other out this week. Just go on a date. Just do it. Spend quality time with the one you love. And just, forget about work for a couple hours, and people are like, oh yeah, I can't remember the last time I went out, and so.
Wait, I have a spouse? Huh, yeah, I should really have that date night, right?
So yeah, it is about business. We cover, business 101, we cover, tips, tricks, tactics, things like that. But if up here is not in the right place, and everything else just suffers. So for me, it's just been just a great surprise on how mindset has really played so much into what we're doing. Not just me and you guys, but everyone in the group.
Yeah, and to build upon that, you're talking about like, sometimes your spouse or your friends and all this stuff, they can't really, unless you're kind of in entrepreneurship, you're an agent, living off your commissions, or an agency owner, it's your business, that's your livelihood and stuff that you're running. It's hard to understand, if people are in like kind of the corporate world, or just building a business, doing sales, the insurance industry in general. Like, it's hard to talk and have conversations with people outside of that, are really because they're not really going to understand. They're not really going to probably have the same like hustle kind of motivation that you have, or really kind of get the entrepreneur side. It's like, I go in, I do a good job during these hours, I go home, I get the same paycheck every single week over and over, and I'll do that till one day I eventually retire. It's totally different from the entrepreneur side. And it's tough not having people to talk to bounce ideas off of, to really hold you accountable, to push you, to share ideas with. And this this journey of building up a business into being a top producer, a top agency owner, and really growing and scaling and building something yourself, that's a totally kind of different world. And so having people that you can come to day in, day out, week over week, and be like, hey, here's what's happened, or here's what challenge I faced, or I can't really figure out how to solve this, or oh, I totally rocked this and dominated and had these wins this week, where you can brag about wins. And it's not like everywhere else in the industry where where it's like, oh, but you're really trying to recruit me when you're talking about these wins, right? Like, oh, I do millions of premium, come work for me. Like, no, that's the group is like, hey, we can share wins. Everybody's like, yeah, that's awesome. And we, it's all about, the win-win relationships and referrals and, how we can, help support each other building that and what things we can implement and, knowledge share as well. It's definitely part mastermind as well of like, hey, here's the things I went out and tested and tried, and these things really worked really well, and you guys should go try these things too. And if you got questions, ask me. That's happening week in and week out in there, and people are like, oh, I would have never thought to try that. Let me do that, and bam, results. And so it's really awesome to have like-minded agents and agency owners that you can build your businesses together week in, week out. And people that understand you, that get you, that have the same goals as you, and that it's not just like, cutthroat competitors like most of the industry. This is a community. And that's what the Closers Click is, a community. I mean, it's a tight-knit group, and everybody within it is really tight-knit and wants to see everybody else succeed. It's not, coming in like, oh, I want to outdo all these people and they all suck and I'm going to be the best of the best. Like, it's coming in like, and everybody is growing and having success. And honestly, a lot of them are sending a ton of business to each other too, which is really cool. As a referral partner, for a referral partner, the main thing you want with them is they're going to take good care of the person that you send them. They're going to do a good job with them and make you look good for referring people to them, and nothing's going to drop through the cracks, and they're going to really, help that person out. And so if you have people that deeply in what they got going on, what they're doing, and that they care and are passionate about it, and they're not going to let someone fall through the cracks that you can send people to, well, that's all you can ask for in a referral partner, and that's happening all the time in this. So it's really cool to see people sending stuff too.
Yeah, I would like to pose a question for anybody watching. What is your biggest struggle right now as an agency owner or just an insurance agent, period? Please feel free to drop that in the comments below. We're interested. I'm curious to know struggling with. I'm sorry, Sandra.
I was just going to say, I don't want everybody to think it's all sunshine and roses. We're all like, oh, we love you, and everybody's a superstar, and you all get a ribbon, because this group will hold your ass accountable. You say you're going to do something, there ain't no bell ringing for you if you don't get it done. Now, we're not going to beat each other. Nobody beats each other up. But if you tell Renee you're going to do something, that you've set this goal on something specifically, and that's what your goal is, your business needle mover, and you ignore it all week, people are going to want to know why. So you don't even, you're not, a lot of times we as humans, the first people we're going to do is we're going to come up with a bunch of excuses, right? Well, my car's in the shop, so that doesn't work with me not being able to get my 2 workouts in a day, because now I got to walk to the damn grocery store. But because my husband, there can always be an excuse. Well, I got busy at the office. Is anybody here trying to make a needle mover work, and you're telling yourself, I'm busy at the office, right? I get a million questions in a day, right? That's okay. We're going to help you figure out how to carve out that time, because you're going to have 15 or 20 people to be accountable to on Friday. So you want to get those goals going. And it for me personally, it helps me a ton. It helps me a ton to know that if I don't do a live video every day because I'm in a side challenge with some of the TCC people, then I'm going to have to explain why I didn't create 5 minutes to do a live video today. So it's really cool to have people that want you to win so badly, they're willing to hold you accountable.
Yeah, and we'll hold you accountable. We're not going to be mean about it. We don't have a box of shame we send people to or anything. But, you are going to hold you accountable. And when people know that you are going to be on a video, people are going to, hold you accountable for the action items that week, you're going to get them done. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, people want results. They want to be successful, so they want to get it done. And it's just that little extra, motivation to get it done and actually accomplish it. And it has a huge difference and impact. And in fact, that's, multiple people told us that's their favorite things is just being held accountable. And it makes a big difference. They're like, I know I can be doing things, but I just put it off. I don't get it done. And when they know, like, oh, I want to be able to just brag about that on Friday, have people ringing the bell and celebrating with me, I'm going to get it done. And, and talking about that too, and who this kind of fit for as well is, and that's why we and also part of why we celebrate these wins week in and week out. This is also for people that are tired of looking for the magic bullet, the one thing that will just, solve all their problems and take off wherever, or the one lead source that will, take them to millions of premiums every year. I mean, there is not a magic bullet in the industry of something that is just like, oh, this solves everything. You just have this one thing and you're massively successful. It's a constant building week over week and implementing things and wins every single week that build up to that. It's not a overnight, like you're going from nothing to millions in premium. It's building, and it's that constant build week over week and seeing results that way. And that's exactly what we focus on and what we help the agents achieve and agency owners achieve as a part of this, is we help them implement things every week, get wins every week, and be growing and moving forward, pushing that needle up. And it's not, oh, you come in next week, bam, off the charts, because that's unrealistic and that's not what happens. It's that constant week over week. And that's why we celebrate the wins, because each of those wins every week is a step in that direction and moving forward and pushing that needle. So, and that's why it's my favorite part of the week. I love hearing the bells ring at the end of the week. What'd you do? I did this. We had a record-breaking month. I have 70,000 in premium sitting when I walked in the office this morning for a deal. I did a quick little 3-minute Facebook Live that you guys told me to do, and I had like 10,000 in AP come across and opportunities from that little Facebook Live that you did. I had multiple referral partners send me stuff from this action I took to start establishing those relationships. Well, whatever it is, week over week of those wins, and so that's what we're excited about. And and so like we said, if you're like, hey, I'm ready to take my business to the next level, to know what I need to implement. I don't lack the hustle. I don't lack the drive. I just need someone to help me get to where I need to go, and I will do that. Then this is probably a fit for you, and grab a call down. Love to chat with you. We'd love to see if you'd be a good fit for the Closers Click community, and also kind of talk to you about what we can do for you as a part of that. So we're super excited about it. We'd love to have some more awesome agents and agency owners that want to come in and be a part of the community. And we're really excited about it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, one of my favorite weeks, I know we're getting close to the end here, but one of my favorite weeks is when we were training on doing a Facebook Live, and I think Sandra said, "Okay, guys, now it's time to just pick up your phone and record." And she gets the phone, picks it up, and she starts recording her live. We're all just looking at it and liking her live as she's doing it within the training. And then she stops, and then she turns back to the camera and says, "All right, guys, it's your turn. Do it." So people are kind of apprehensive, maybe a little scared, but hey, guys, I mean, they did it, and just to experience the win of people like responding and reaching out to them almost immediately. I think some people sold pet insurance. I mean, homeowners. I mean, you name it. I think you guys might have mentioned it earlier too. The sales were immediate, right? And it's things that people never think of, but are so simple. And it's that, again, that was one of my favorite weeks. I just thought I should share that.
Well, and get this. I don't know. I spent like 5 years in Texas and never picked up y'all until like 6 months ago. I don't know where it came from, but y'all checked us out from Montana.
Yeah.
They haven't spent any money on marketing yet. They've almost everybody in the group has had the biggest months they've had. One guy sold his book. Like he just is gone.
I just I'm gonna build another. So
my goal is to sell my book, and then like 4 weeks later, he's like, "I got an insane offer. It was awesome."
Cannot guarantee that result for everybody that comes in. Just by the way.
But they haven't spent a dime on marketing yet. Everything we have done has been organic, and they have built the foundation to where now when they're going live, Kelly Spies goes live every day. She's part of our everyday challenge. And she is writing food truck business all over the place. So if you need somebody, if you don't know anything about food truck, look up Kelly. She's your gal. But nobody spent any money yet. And every single person on every single sales call, all three of us were on all of them, Victor as well, said, "I need leads."
Everybody comes in like, "Oh, I just need a great source to buy leads from, or I need to learn how to run Facebook ads, generate it on my own." And we're like, well, how much organic stuff do you have coming in? How much referral stuff do you have coming in that, you know, you're so desperate for these? And we're like, not much, which is why we're so desperate for these. Well, let's start with that, because that's a great foundation of free things that you can be build that can constantly be coming in from your efforts that you can then just build on top of with either vendors or generating your own type of leads on top of that, or whatever. You know, you want to be efficient with your budget and with scaling up and stuff as well, and you need that solid base of organic stuff coming in and referrals as well that you can all just build on top of with leads and marketing and stuff. So yes, someone said Kelly Spees is such a star. She is, absolutely. So yeah, we're super proud of all the members of the clique. They're doing awesome jobs. They're doing really cool things, and they're taking off and, you know, doing their own ideas and things as well, which is super cool, seeing them like just build on top of what we're teaching them, and then just, you know, go off with it and take it. So I was really excited about it. So guys, I think we're probably going to wrap up because it's come close to an hour. But yeah, you know, if you've been watching this, being like, yeah, I want that. I want to be a part of that. I want to grow. I want to take it to the next level. I want to be a top producer, top agency owner. I want to know what works. I want to know how to go do it. I want to be held accountable. I want people that are going to share the latest and greatest and what's working with them. And I want people that, you know, are going to be solid referral partners, you know, and send stuff my way as well. Then this is for you. I mean, that's exactly who this is built for. So book a call with us down below, and we're happy to chat with you about it. And we'd love to have you a part of the Closers Clique. TCC. So, baby, yes. And get you ringing that bell. That's my favorite part, is ringing the bell.
Come and experience the wins with us, guys.
Yeah, celebrate those wins. Week in, week out. Yeah, everybody. Yeah. So it's
just
fun.
walks around the house and he rings the bell all day long.
Guys, thanks for checking out the live. Thanks for or if you're catching the watch party or catching a recording, thanks for checking this out. You can still book a call with us, and we're really excited to have an awesome new crew come in over the next weeks, and we'll keep rolling and keep building and keep scaling. I mean, this is a week in, week out program, year long, and ongoing from there as well. So this isn't something that's like, oh, pop in for a few weeks and, you know, call it a day. This is ongoing, building, scaling, growing. Where, you know, you're not going to get to the point where it's like, oh, I've learned everything. Okay, I'm kind of done, or whatever. This is going, you know, push you above and beyond, or whatever, until, you know, maybe if you're, you know, doing 10, 20, 50 million a year in premium and have like 100 agents under you, maybe at that point you're probably good. But yeah, even then, you know, there's still a lot of cool stuff that'll come out of it that that you guys would absolutely love. So I'm excited to talk to you guys about it. Excited to talk with people that grab calls with us about it. And everybody get back to kicking butt this week and taking names. And hope you guys have a wonderful week. Thanks for joining us, Sandra and Renee and Victor and David Campert hopping on and sharing as well. So thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Everybody have a great week.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.